The train came to a halt with a weary cry, like an old workhorse refusing to move another inch. Steam drifted into the bitter January air as snow danced across the silent platform. Evelyn Hart pressed her cheek against the icy window, her breath clouding the glass as Stone Creek appeared. The town was smaller than she imagined. A row of weather-beaten wooden buildings leaned against the wind, their false fronts pretending to be grander than they truly were. Her stomach twisted. This was it. The place where her new life was supposed to begin. She stood and smoothed her traveling dress with unsteady hands. At 27, she was already considered too late back in Missouri. Too tall. Too noticeable. Too much of everything men claimed they didn't want. But the letter in her coat pocket promised something else. Caleb Turner, owner of the Twin Spur Ranch, had written plainly. No poetry. No sweet words. He wanted a wife. A capable woman. Looks and height didn't matter, he said. Evelyn had read that line until the paper nearly tore. The conductor stopped at her compartment and lifted her suitcase without asking. "This your stop, miss?" "Yes, sir." He studied her longer than most men did. "Someone meeting you?" "Mr. Caleb Turner." The hesitation was brief, but she saw it. Doubt. Maybe pity. "Well," he said, "platform's near empty." And it was. A stray dog sniffed through crates. An old man slept on a bench, snow collecting on his hat. No Caleb Turner. No familiar face. The train pulled away with a lonely whistle, leaving her alone with the cold. Evelyn waited. Minutes passed. Then more. Nothing. Her city boots sank into snow as she dragged her trunk toward the depot. The door was locked. Inside sat a cold stove and a single chair. The board showed the next eastbound train wouldn't arrive for 3 days. 3 days. Alone. She stood tall on the main road while life moved around her. Men laughed outside a saloon. A woman hurried past without meeting her eyes. A child stared openly at her height before being pulled away. No one offered help. Evelyn straightened her shoulders. She'd spent her life being told to make herself smaller. She wouldn't do that here. She pulled her trunk toward the Copper Star Saloon. Music stopped the moment she stepped inside. Smoke hung heavy. Eyes turned. "I'm looking for Caleb Turner," she said. Laughter rippled. "He owes me money," someone joked. "He's expecting me," Evelyn said steadily. "I'm his intended." Silence fell. A man appeared at the top of the stairs, well-dressed, clean, smaller than she expected. "You failed to mention what you are," he said flatly. "I told you I was tall." He laughed without warmth. "No man wants to look up at his wife. It's unnatural." The word cut deep. "Why send for me?" she asked. "I wanted a woman," he replied. "Not this." He turned away. Heat burned her face as whispers filled the room. Evelyn gathered what dignity she had left and walked out into the snow. Her hands burned with cold. Her boots slipped. At last, she reached a narrow boarding house. A small woman with sharp eyes opened the door and pulled her inside. "Come in, child," she said. "You're frozen." That night, Evelyn whispered, "I was foolish." "No," the woman replied gently. "Just hopeful." Morning arrived gray and bitter. Evelyn dressed carefully, pinning her hair neat. If Stone Creek stared, it would see her standing tall. By noon, the town knew the story. Some laughed. Some pitied. Doors opened, then closed. That afternoon, the boarding house owner knocked. "There's a man asking for you." Her heart sank. "Not Caleb," the woman said. "His brother." Ethan Turner stood waiting, broader, worn clothes, honest eyes. "I came to apologize," he said. "And to offer work." I need a cook at my ranch, the Crossrail. She searched his face for mockery. Found none. By sunset, Evelyn rode out of town with her trunk strapped behind. Work was hard. Mistakes piled up. Doubt crept in. One evening, alone near the trees, Caleb Turner appeared drunk and bitter. You don't belong here, he sneered, grabbing her arm. Let her go. A calm, dangerous voice cut through the dark. A tall cowboy stepped forward. I'm Luke Dawson, he said. And you're done here. Caleb retreated. Luke walked Evelyn back. This land is harsh on those who stand out, he said. That doesn't mean you're wrong. Something changed that night. Weeks passed. Evelyn found her rhythm. The ranch hands respected her. Luke visited often, sometimes with news, sometimes with silence. Caleb tried once more to shame her publicly. This time, Evelyn stepped forward. You sent for a wife and treated her like property, she said clearly. I owe you nothing. Luke stood beside her. I've never felt smaller standing next to her, he said calmly. Only stronger. Caleb left with no allies. Soon after, Evelyn opened a small sewing room in Stone Creek. Women came for work, and for strength. One quiet night, snow falling softly, Luke asked. Where do you sleep now? Upstairs, she replied. Cold room. Narrow bed. You could sleep at my place, he said. Not because you need to. Because I want you there. She met his eyes. No pity. Only choice. They married in spring beneath open sky. No grand building. No false fronts. Evelyn stood tall beside Luke Dawson, unbowed, unashamed. She came west searching for a place to belong. She found it by standing exactly as she was.